Okay. All right, we're off to the races. Uh, I find something very interesting about the tilt. On the ES, there's more people short on the ES than there are long, but on the Nasdaq, there's more people long than on the ES. Let's actually look at that. I don't know why. Okay, I can see why people are short here at this double top. And I just have to finish construction on this chart with the ES. But that is a clean double top. Bears do get respected on the ES. If you see a double top, 9 times out of 10, it will work. It will definitely work 9 times out of 10. This is already an 8-point move. So uh, 9 times out of 10, it'll work. Yeah, last night, oh man, last night was a beautiful thing to see last night. I was able to capture this move in both of my swing accounts. Unfortunately, I had to cut the position to maintain the stupid consistency rule that they had. And look how much money I left on the table because I had to follow a rule with consistency. Um, yeah, so waking up to this was definitely not fun, but I'm glad I was able to participate at least some of it with some of it last night. This is going to be definitely. This is definitely going to be challenging on both sides of the market. Uh, as we remember, I mean, this COT data, CFTC data is very important. If you're not capturing this data for yourself, you're cheating yourself. They told us that they were going to be buying this week. They told us this. They told us that they were going to be 61% long and only 38 or 39% short this week. And if you didn't listen to what the institutions were telling you that they were going to do, you got caught on the wrong side of this move. Uh, let's actually talk about what actually happened before this big giant move. Like, look at all this consolidation and distribution. I had a feeling that this is what this was, but obviously during the time it felt like, oh man, they're going to really knock this thing down because it just seemed like the market was so bearish, bulls couldn't get anything going, and in hindsight, all this was distribution. These buyers happily sold their contracts to the sellers, and when you look at it, all it did was trade in a big range. It made equal lows. You can see that even with the amount of bearishness that we had, it didn't even take out these lows. They kept them intact. They swept the liquidity underneath the lows. And then from here, we saw this big giant move up. So I know that a lot of people, they're looking at the seasonality chart and seeing that the NASDAQ has been red, super red in September, but that's obviously not going to be the case. That's obviously not going to be the case. Not this September. We already touched 20K. I mean, it's going to take a whole lot of bearishness for the bears to first they have to break through they're going to have to trade price right back into this trend channel. They're going to have to break and reject off this trend channel, and they're going to have to take out these lows. So the Bears have a lot of work, and they've already shown this entire year that they're not even capable of holding the market down. Even when there's bearishness, it's overall bullish. Even on the bearish days, you can see it. Like the days where we had red days, all price was doing was making higher highs and higher lows all the way up. We had some consolidation right here. And after we had the trend into a range, we saw this breakout of a range. And even if price pulls back, you already know that there's going to be a pool of buyers here. There's going to be a pool of buyers that's looking to buy this retest to participate. So we're not going to not count the bears out because, I mean, even though they do have a lot of work ahead of them, it's still possible. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen the buyers get up to 20K and then just completely walk away. And then the bears take it down from there just for them to buy it at a lower price to take it right back up. So, yeah, what's up, JC? What's up? So, I will say that I do enjoy trading in the pre-market. It just seems like the price action is just so much easier. It's easier. Like I said, I caught this initial pump in my first account. Unfortunately, I had to cut this one earlier, so I have two swing accounts now. I purchased a second one. I thought I passed it yesterday, but they have a 30% consistency rule, so I had to trade. I had to do an extra trade to get under 30%. I was at 30.6, so I had to trade that first swing account overnight. I saw this setting up. I was like, man, the Bears are not going to be able to stop this. Let me do this. I said the Bears, they're going to fail here. So once I saw that price found support here at this range, right here, I felt, let me just put a limit order here. Let me get into this and let's just see what happened. I know that I can at least target 765. And to my surprise, when that thing just shot up and just hit my target instantly, I was like, wow, wow. And then once I got out my first swing account, I waited at 685. I was actually talking to people in the Thankful Bookmap chat, and I said, hey, let's pay attention to 688 because if price does pull back, it's highly likely that there's going to be bulls here, passive bulls that's going to be resting in this area to buy the retest. I had my limit exactly right here. Actually, I think I front ran it a little bit. I think I had it at 687 or 88, my limit. Only took a few points in drawdown, and I was able to capture this move right here, leaving all of this on the freaking table because I had to close the position. So pre-market is actually, yeah, I really do enjoy trading pre-market. I wish the cash session was just as good, but I don't think we're gonna get decent price action, at least for a while, because we have this big move overnight. So obviously we're too high to buy. The bears are continuously getting clapped. So they're going to be too scared to sell. And so until I guess the algos are whoever decides which direction the market wants to go, we know that if the market dips, the bulls are going to buy it. And we're just going to have a stair step down until we get into an area where people can agree that this is a great area to take profits for the bears, and this is a great area to buy for the bulls. And once everybody is in agreement, we can get great price action where everybody becomes buyers and everybody becomes sellers. Where the buyers, they're taking their profits here at these highs, so they become sellers. And the sellers taking their profits down here and they become buyers. So with this massive move up, I highly doubt that we're going to get a move down, or at least it's going to be a painful move down. But then at the same time, we can all agree that we are too high to buy, but this thing can continue to trade up to the upside. So it's definitely going to be challenging. You might have to actually come back in the afternoon to potentially get something. Now, I think I do see something maybe possibly setting up here. Never. Let me look at the ES real quick. Yeah, because the ES already made the move down. So the ES made the move down already. Hmm. So that's so interesting. They're 61% short on the ES right now. They're 61% short and they're 53% long. But actually, let's actually talk about why we're seeing that divergence between the Nasdaq and we're seeing that divergence between the ES. Higher interest rates obviously benefit tech stocks. Um, when money becomes cheaper, these tech companies is basically free money for them. It's literally free money for them because through advertising, they make money. And so when they borrow money with a low interest rate, all they're doing is paying the interest and using the loan to make more money. And so as an example, a simple example, if I borrow $100 and my interest rate payment is 50 and my $100 make $5,000 and I pay back the $50 interest and I had I said 500. Did I say 5,000 or 500? It doesn't matter. You made all that profit with literally magic money that you never had before in existence. And that's why these tech companies, that's why we saw that massive crash with the Nasdaq when interest rates went up because money becomes more expensive. And that means that they're going to have to work harder to turn a profit to pay back on that interest. And as I studied this topic, it appears that a lot of these companies do that. They would rather take out a loan, which is called good debt, pay off the interest rate, and basically flip the loan to make more money. And it's basically an unlimited money machine, basically. But I mean, technically that's a double top, but like I said, I don't know. I feel like if you short this market, if you short the man, that might be a good short right there. That actually might be a good short. That actually might be a good short on the Nasdaq. But I'm not shorting the Nasdaq. I don't care. I'm not shorting the Nasdaq. I don't believe that you'll get far shorting the Nasdaq. If you want to be a bear, obviously the move is to short the ES. Money is cheap. But I will say that I am surprised that they actually cut rates by 50 basis points. I mean, in this inflationary environment that we're in, that could be seen as highly aggressive. That is a highly aggressive rate cut. We'll look at the ES because the ES might be presenting a good long opportunity. Let's see what they do here. Let's see what they do. Oh shit, that should have to be through. All right, so let's see what they do here. Uh, okay. Okay. Let me look at that real quick. Mm. All right, so let's see what they do here at VWAP in the 200. Ah, shit. Ah, man. Ah, okay. I can't scale into this account. Mm, okay. Can I fix this up real quick? Yeah, I guess I really couldn't, or I really shouldn't. I should be good in this. I should be good in this. I think that's a decent enough pullback for the Bulls for them to buy that. I think I should be good. I think I can expect for a retest of this high up here. I think I should. I think I can at least expect a retest. I think they're gonna probably come back up here, possibly. I mean, in hindsight, I guess I should have waited for VWAP in 200. I mean, I should have just waited for that. But uh, uh, hey, only left about 5 points on the freaking table, man. Um, yeah, they should come back up into at least this range up here. You guys can see it, that at least that range right there. Hmm. Yeah, I think I should be good in this position. I should be. Because at this point, there's nothing that the Bears could do. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're going to try to trap high right here, possibly. Looks like they're already trying to. They're already trying to trap high right there, but at this point, the writing's on the wall for the Bears. All right. All right, so let me look at the Nasdaq real quick. I mean, this would be a good area right here. If they can find support. I mean, it looks like they will. I mean, yeah, it looks like they will find support right here for sure. I mean, you got the Nasdaq about to lead the. I mean, not the the Nasdaq, the ES shooting up. The Nasdaq is surely going to follow the ES for sure. Mm. I mean, the question is, should I take the 10 points? That's the question. Should I take the 10 points? Hmm. I mean, could we get the? I mean, okay, so this is what I did. I put it like right here, 69. Or so I think I got to stop. I think I got a trailing stop with this strategy. So I think once it gets past like uh, 15 or 16 points or something like that, the trailing stop moves up. Okay, so 12 points is definitely a lot of points. I hate to give this shit right back up. All right, so hmm, what is that? Like right there. I'll just take it right there. I gotta remember this. This is my funded account, and I don't particularly care. And you know what? You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna keep it all the way up here. I swear, you move your damn target, then the market likes to start playing games. Like, God dang, it likes to start playing games. Let me look at the ES book map real quick. Of course. All right, so there is a bunch of resistance in this area. At least the bears are trying to come in here, but I don't think they're going to be too successful. I mean, we might get a move down, but I don't think they'll be successful in knocking and reversing the market, especially after we got this VWAP bounce here. So
No, we have a green
Oh
box,
crap,
which is
my
similar
bad.
to the market
My
volume
bad.
stop, but just at a
I
lower
just want to
setting.
edit this tab.
So the golden arrow is set to 350 on the NQ, and the boxes are set to about 150. So a little.
Okay. I apologize. I thought I muted the tab. That was actually Think with Bookmap. I believe that's also or Alex, I believe. I'm not sure. Okay. Um. Mm, all right. So it seems like they're trying to come in around like 70. Uh, all right. Just keep on going, baby. Nobody's not gonna stop you. Keep on going. Uh, uh, I was just about to just take that. Come on, baby. Just hit that target, baby. Just hit that target. Just hit it. Thank you. All right, I'm good. All right, so just made another $700 in the account. Um, technically, this was my fifth day, technically, but because I do have some losses in this account, obviously, yeah, y'all can see I brought it back up to 50K. I think this will technically be like my first day, probably, technically. Technically. All right, so I mean, all right. So if y'all was in that with me, we only took like what 5 points in drawdown on that, but we was able to capture all this. It's gonna probably go back up and retest the highs, but like I said, I gotta keep it around $600 to $700 in this account to maintain that consistency rule. So that's why I had to cut it. There is some resistance in this area, but I think we can at least get a retest up here. But it doesn't matter because I made my $700 and that's all I need. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't gonna take this short on the damn Nasdaq. I mean, we talked about it shorting, and to look, I mean, the way it looked, it didn't seem like it would have been that stressful. This short started out at 840, so this is like a 10-minute short. If you was able to capture this, I mean, you got a good short back into support. If you bought right here at the support area, I mean, you got a good long. So I mean, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad at all. So I have no more accounts to trade. So I'm gonna just go back into the sim. I made my maximum daily profit and the sim account, or not the sim account, my swing account. I made the extra what $100 or $200 I needed this morning in my first swing account, so I should be getting an email about passing that account this afternoon. Actually, let's actually look at that. This is why I love this account. I love this account. I don't even use that word. But this account allows me to actually trade the way I want to trade now. Um, I'll show you guys my stats. All right, so this is like this is my second day in this account. So right now I'm 100% in this account, but my first account. Oh well, I guess they took it away because I passed it. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess never mind. Never mind. But what I was going to show you was that I was literally 100% in that account. I took 8 trades, all winning trades, and was able to pass that account. So it's in my, it's not on my dashboard, but these are basically all my trades. Patient loans. You can see that I guess all my trades got hit. I was in profit. Oh yeah, I had to make $62. I had to make $62. Yeah, this thing doesn't really show it for real. Well, I guess I should be getting that email later on today. But yeah, I love this swing account. If I can get, if they would allow me to have as many as, because I can only have 3, or at least 3 live accounts. So for right now, as long as UProfit keeps this deal, there's really no point, in my opinion, to buy any other prop firm or any other account from any other prop firm. It's the cheapest right now. It's a 30K static account, so there's, as long as you don't lose the initial $1,000 in the account, you can lose as much as you want. I mean, that shouldn't be your goal, but as long as you don't lose that initial $1,000, I mean, you can really work around that. Yeah, it's a swing account, so you can. It's to me, how I see it is that I bought $1,000 for $62. I can trade in this account how I want. I can swing it over the weekend. I can swing it it's like this is literally a personal account that they're selling for $62. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. I made $600 or $500 yesterday with 2 micros swinging. $200 or 2 micros with only $150 of risk. A 50-point stop with 2 micros. Make sure I'm doing the math on that. That's like 100 points, I think, actually. 50 points, yeah. Or 200 points of risk. I apologize. 200 points. With 50 points, 50 point stop. So 200 points, I was able to make 5 with only 200 points of risk. You can't beat that. You really can't. So I really enjoy this account. I really do. Now, looking at the structure of the chart, I wouldn't advocate shorting this, but I wouldn't argue with you for trying to short this. This is a classic short setup right here. It's classic. You got your higher high, you got your breaker structure right here. You got them pulling back into an area where they dropped it. And this is usually where bears come in, or at least the professional bears come in, and they trade the other side because they got confirmation that this is a short, that price should not trade above this high. This pattern right here is a confirmation that you can safely go short. However, we know that the bulls are not respecting bearish price action. So I guess in the bull's mind, this is a head and shoulders pattern. You have your left shoulder, your head, and here is your right shoulder, and this is them coming to buy it. So you have 2 perspectives right now. You have 2 perspectives, technical perspectives right here. The question is, who's going to be right? Now, it's obvious that since the momentum is bullish, that you should be leading towards the bullish side, obviously. But there's not, I mean, the risk to reward is not in your favor. you have that much of risk, I mean, that much of reward for all of this risk. The risk to reward is not in your favor up here. The risk to reward is to the downside. So, and this is why and this is what I'm talking about. If you was a bear in this, it got immediately bought up, and now if you were in at the top, you're back at break even. So let's look at the ES. So good thing I got out of this. Well, never mind. Well, good thing I got out of it when I did, because you got this drop, but I mean it still retested the high. So if the bulls, so let's just say that the bears bring it back to this right here. If the bulls want this, they'll buy it off here. But honestly, that price action don't even look right. What is more likely to happen is that we probably get a pullback back into this area right here. You see that breaker structure to the upside at 757, that breaker structure above this neckline. I believe that the bears, they'll eventually get it back down to 757. And this is where, if I'm going to be a buyer, this is where I would want to buy at, because the ES is technically sound. She's technically sound. You don't have to put too much risk on her. If the buyers mean business here, then they won't allow price to trade too much underneath this low. I mean, obviously you'll have your liquidity sweeps, obviously, but you're not going to see 10 points past this low if buyers want to buy here. You're going to see price trade into this area, sweep whatever liquidity that they need, and then they're going to push it back up for a possible retest of this high if the buyers are seriously here. This looks like a strong low to me. So what is that, 7 points? Like a 10-point stop underneath 757 would be sufficient. And with 10 micro contracts, I think that's what, $500. But I trade with a 7-point stop though. A 7-point stop is $350. Actually, let me look at that strategy again. Let me look at the strategy again. Consistent 11. Let me see what I put. Yeah. Hold on. 36. Hold on. Oh, is that 9 points? Oh. I guess I have 9 points on this strategy. Usually my strategy is 7 points, but I guess whenever I made this, I made it 9. Okay, whatever, dude. I'll keep it that way. But looking at this, I can see why bears would try to short this. I mean, this is a classic short setup on the ES. This is classic right here. You have a lower low in price. You have price coming back and testing out that high. Bears are definitely trying to short this. They're trying. That's a classic short setup on the ES. Classic. But unfortunately for the bears, you have the 21 EMA sloping up. You have the 50 EMA sloping up. And you have this trend indicator that is showing that people should buy here at these EMAs. In order for the bears to be successful, not only do they have to knock price down, they have to break this, they have to trade it past this, and then still trade it past this neckline right here, because this is technically still the breaker structure to the upside. So the bears have a lot to deal with. They have to break this neckline, they have to break through this breaker structure, and they're going to have to break through the 200 and VWAP. That's a lot of work for the bears to be successful. The only thing the bulls got to be successful is either buy the retest or buy VWAP or the 200 EMA. So the odds are to the bullish side, even though the market is setting up, or at least it looks like it's setting up for the short. But I think bears are going to get ran though. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens here because I think this happened. What? No, never mind. That's a stop run. Yeah, never mind. Let me actually look at that because I need to start taking some note of that. You ain't nothing to be afraid of. Ain't nothing to be afraid of. Huh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I didn't even do it. I guess it really plays. I guess it really depends on how big it is, I guess. Because if I did that, because I mean, I guess that would be cleaner. And even that did it too. Both of them did it. I guess if it's like really bullish, I guess. I guess if it's really bullish. All right, so let's see what they do here. See what they do. Yeah, I would have got my target hit. Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew that price was coming back up here anyway, because there's no reason for the ES to just to pump and not make an attempt to at least retest the top of this value area high, and if not these highs. I mean, we're going to at least retest these highs. I mean, that's the one thing I kind of hate about these consistency rules. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. It keeps me racking up the winning days, but at the same time, I hate when I get out of a position and it goes to where I want to actually get out of the market. But then at the same time, it protects me because I can get greedy and I want this target and it might miss it and it comes all the way back down to my break even and I'm upset. I did that so many times in that competition account. It's ridiculous. I'm kind of upset about that competition account. I'll just do better in the next one. But I made so much money, so much unrealized gains in that account. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. So much unrealized gains. Had plenty of opportunities to close. I had plenty of opportunities to actually get out, but due to my stubbornness, I was like, nah, I want what I want. And unfortunately, it cost me that account unnecessarily at that. Unnecessarily. It was complete self-sabotage, really. But I'll do better in the next competition. I'm gonna have a defined set of rules so stuff like that doesn't happen. But that's why I like the consistency rule, but I hate it at the same time. Mm. All right, so we swept that high. I mean, if the market is going to keep on trading past this high, if we're going to see price continue to trade past this high, I mean, you got 108 and you got 138. We are at an area where it's almost at this golden zone. So you know what? I'm gonna try it, man. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try it. I am in the sim though. Let me make sure I'm in the sim. I'm gonna try this. I want to try it. Because does this thing keep going on? Got the ES, man. I mean, we got the ES that dropped. I mean, they dropped right here, exactly where I wanted to get out originally, right here at this high. Right here at this high is where I wanted to get out at. And I would have got out exactly where the market dropped. So I left about, what, 7? I mean, I only left 5 points on the table, but I mean, still. Uh, I'm gonna try here, man. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try this. I'm not looking for a reversal. I'm looking for kind of a pullback. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try it right there. Because I mean, we got this big, massive move up. We just traded above that high. If I was in my funded account, I would not take this. I'm gonna be very clear about that. I'm in the sim. I want to take this trade. I want to, and that's why I took it. We took out this high right here. We haven't had a retest of this high in a long time. I'm pretty sure there's passive sell orders sitting here. I feel like we're gonna probably see a drop from here. It's gonna be tough, but I think we're gonna see it. I mean, if it does continue to trade up higher, I mean, we do have 108 right here. We do have 108, and it does look like 103, 108, 111 has been a point of interest in the past. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. So far, it's not looking good. And actually, I kind of want to put this at 45. And if Hey, what's up, the Trader Shop? Everything's been going good, man. We've been getting payouts. We've been consistent. We've been elevating our game over here, man. Definitely a different trader than how I started, and I can really honestly say I've become a better trader because I do this for you guys. I sit in front of you guys. It's kind of like having you like the risk managers looking over the trades, and I don't want to look foolish. So I really just cut down on the gambling, cut down on the foolish behaviors that I had in the past, really being more strategic in my approach with the markets, really studying it, really studying the charts. So, um, yeah, everything's been going good, man. How about you? Yeah, dude, that is just so crazy about growth, man. It's like that's like the craziest thing about growth. I read this thing on Instagram, and it's so true. And I hate that it's true. I think I spoke about it previously before, but it says the road to heaven feels like hell, but the road to hell feels like heaven. And it's so freaking true. It's just so true. I don't know why the world is like that or why. the human experience is like that, but when they tell you not to give up, when they tell you, the pain is part of the process, looking at it from a higher point of view, if it wasn't for pain, the butterfly wouldn't be able to break out of its cocoon and fly off. Damn, look at that. See? Yeah, okay. You see that? This is why I wanted to take this in the sim. Bearish price action is just ain't gonna work, man. It's just not working. It just ain't gonna work. That is crazy. That's a crazy stop run. And you can tell that everybody was shorting this area. Everybody had the same idea. Everybody had the same idea of shorting this area. Because if they didn't, we wouldn't have gotten this stop run. We wouldn't have gotten this stop run if everybody wasn't shorting in this area. So this is why I kind of gave up my bear card, because it's like, dude, I can't even short the market anymore. I can't short the market no more. Look at that. That is so crazy. But anyway. Yo, congratulations on that, man. I mean, that's the whole point of this thing, man. That's the whole point. The whole point is to get them payouts. Yeah, it definitely is, man. It definitely is. Kind of going back to that butterfly analogy. They actually did an experiment where they actually helped the butterfly break out of its cocoon. Did you know that according to this study that the butterfly's wings wasn't strong enough for it to fly, so it died because it got help? Breaking out of its cocoon was part of its process of making it stronger, strengthening it. Because without it, it wouldn't be able to fly. And it's crazy. Like, I'm not a spiritual person. I'm not going to be the type of person that says God this and God that, because honestly, at least my interpretation of a higher power is not necessarily the same as, I guess, universally people see a higher power. I don't see a man as God. I just see the whole universe as God. Because if we look at it based on stuff that we can look at ourselves and see for ourselves without reading a report, reading this and reading that. I mean, if you look at all the patterns and the stuff that replicates itself in reality, like once you have like fruits imitating body parts and organs, and then if you eat these foods, these vegetables and these fruits, and whatever organ they look like, that's the organ that it helps. I mean, that stuff like that is not by accident. Like, there's definitely a higher power, but I don't think that I think the universe itself and everything else is what be considered what a God. At least that's my opinion. And just to have something as simple as a universal law, like the only way through growth is through pain, and to have that physically shown through like a butterfly, to where it can't even, if you help it out, it won't be able to fly. And that's the same thing with people. Look at all these social services. Yes, there are some people that need assistance, and there are some people that just need that little boost to help them get along their way. But majority of people, when they get on welfare, they get on these social systems, what happens? They become lesser than themselves. They stop working, they stop improving, they stop bettering, because in the back of their mind, they tell themselves, if I don't make ends meet, I can just stand in a line, waste my time, apply for some benefits, wait for it to be approved, and then I'll be good. And it's the same thing. They're getting these benefits, and it takes away their power to become better. I've already shared that when I was in college, they had a program to where they allowed college students to have food stamps. And it was like $200 so we can focus on our studies and we can have at least food. And I hated it. I wasn't egotistical enough to say that I'm not going to use it. I used it because I needed it. But at the same time, it was a driving force. Like every time, I just hate using this thing, and I'm gonna get to a point to where I can't. I don't. I mean, I want to be able to qualify for this thing because I just hated it. Like I absolutely hated it. I hated it, but like I said, I needed it at the time. So, but just stuff like that, man. I just find stuff like that interesting. I really do. Yeah, I do, man. I do. I do. I look back and like my daughter, like the way obviously the way that I grew up, I mean, shit, trauma was normal. So, how do I say this? To me, when someone complains about small things, it's like, man, you wouldn't be able to survive in some environments, and your environment definitely shapes you. Now that I'm in a more positive environment, when I first moved away from that toxic environment and moved more into a positive environment where I could take care of myself, I can start planning and start building. When I initially got into that environment, it was uncomfortable. I found myself trying to race back to that toxic environment because that's what I was used to. And still up until this day, I still kind of feel that way. Not to the point to where it's like, okay, I miss it, like I miss the hood. I mean, I want to go back. No, I would never go back. It's because it doesn't feel right. I'm more familiar with it living in a chaotic environment and surviving in a chaotic environment versus now that the environment is peaceful. It's like, okay, so what can go wrong? There's nothing that's going to go wrong, but my mind is already wired to already look for something to go wrong. My daughter, on the other hand, she was born in a positive environment. So the smallest little inconvenience that she has, she likes to throw these little tantrums. And I was like, girl, you don't get your little ass up. Like she would just have these mental breakdowns, like, too, like, what the hell is going on with you? The smallest inconvenience, smallest. And it's just stuff like that just kind of just reflects like, wow, wow. I take away her toy, she wants to have a mental breakdown. Like, like what you oh yeah, but yeah, yeah, yep. And I'm starting to see a lot of that. No, I'm actually Virgo. But it's interesting that you say, so why did you thought I was an Aquarius or Capricorn? Because I got spiritual for like 2 seconds? But I'm a Virgo. Actually, my birthday is tomorrow, actually. I'm gonna still show up to work for you guys, because I mean I show up to work. But yeah, tomorrow's actually my birthday. But yeah, I'm starting to see a lot more people because what's that movie called with Will Ferris, I believe his name is, and Kevin Hart? And that scene where he was showing people how to trade in the stock market, and he was actually using that same analogy. He was saying that, yeah, you're illegally stealing money from other people, and they can't do nothing about it. And that's a great way to look at the market because that's exactly what the market does to you every day if you're on the wrong side of it. It steals your money, and you can't do nothing about it except cry. Yeah. Okay, so the 30th, and then so that means that they're Virgos and a Libra. So I'm on the cusp of actually being a Virgo and a Libra as well. I will say this, and this is just more spiritual, obviously. Like I said, I don't necessarily subscribe to religion or spirituality, but it does not mean that these things aren't true. The information that I've come across is that religion, spirituality, if it becomes a group, If it becomes a group thing, then it becomes a cult. And it takes away from the process of self-discovery, because that's what religion, spirituality, I mean, regardless of whatever name you give it, the process is self-discovery. You have to go within yourself. You have to face your demons, your internal demons. And that's why if you have demons, trading in the market will actually show those demons to you. The demons that I have: greed. When I first started out, I thought I was very humble. I thought I didn't necessarily, um, well, I guess it's like it's one of those things where it's how do I say it? So it's the greed is there, but how do I say this? So let me try to explain it. It's the principle of greed, not greed itself. And to better explain that, it's if $100 is available to me, then I want $100. I don't want nothing less than $100. Getting $99, I would still be thinking about that $1 that I left on the table. So it's the principle of greed. But when I get these payouts from these prop firms, the money almost just usually just sits there. I don't touch it. So, and I've noticed that, and that's why when I shared with you guys that I kind of lost interest in, because once I finally got my footing and I was hitting up Top Step, I was hitting up UProfit every week, the money would sit there. It's not like I was using it for anything. It was just the principle of, yeah, I took their money and they couldn't do anything about it. And I was paying myself, and the money would just sit there. And then I fell into this thing to where I'm not using the money. So I just started buying stupid shit. And so it's like, I don't care about the money. I just want it because it's available for me to have. And that was a demon that I had to face. Another demon was gambling. It's just all of a sudden, I never thought about gambling a day in my life until I started trading. Then all of a sudden, there were thoughts that went through my mind, thoughts that I've never had before, that said, hey, let's take money out of, like, because I have money allocated for things. I mean, when you live in poverty, this mindset is already instilled in you because you don't have money, you always got a budget, and you got to make sure that the necessities are there first before you go out and start buying stupid stuff or stuff that you don't necessarily need but want. But there were times where I tried to convince myself to move away from that. It's like, oh, just take these $500, put it into your SPY account, and just gamble it. Just think about all the money you can make. And that was a demon that I've never had before. Up until that point, well, I guess I was poor at the time. So I mean, obviously, if you ain't got no money, how the hell are you gonna be supposed to gamble with no money? But that was a demon I never knew. And then when I would give in to that demon, and it's like, wow, I actually put $500 into my account and lost it, and then try to convince myself to take out a loan to keep trading in the market. I did take out a $1,000 loan, but then that tried to grow into take out a $2,000 loan, take out a $5,000 loan. Just think about all the money you can make if you take out these loans. It was a lot. It was a lot. I was like, yo, if I didn't have the discipline that I had, I would have been so far in debt because obviously I lost the money. And the crazy thing is, it's kind of the same cycle that I kind of do on stream. I'll go on the win streak, get tired of the win streak, start gambling, and lose all the money. And that's what I did with the first couple of loans that I took out. And it's like, yeah, crazy. Yo, what's up, Alfred? What's up? Yeah, the spirituality stuff is, I mean, it's real, man. It's real, this astrology stuff. So again, kind of going back into the astrology stuff. I mean, I understand that the planets and all that. Honestly, if I can't see it for myself, I don't particularly care. I don't care if there's actually, if we went to the moon. I know there's a debate about that. I don't care if the earth is flat. I don't care about that because that has nothing to do with me. I mean, if the earth is round or if it's flat, shit, we good. It don't matter. It's nothing to fight about, but that just goes to show that people will fight about just about anything. I mean, you'll fight about anything. Who cares if the earth is flat or not? Who cares if the earth is round? Who cares if we actually went to the moon? Who the fuck cares? It has no effect. But the point that I'm trying to make is that they're trying to say that uh, astrology is not necessarily something that is outside of this world, but something that you can find inside of yourself. Uh, some terminology would say that you are a universe, and if you actually think about it, your body, your form does house organisms. It houses systems, ecosystems, all these stuffs that operate that keep you alive. You're literally a god of your own universe, your inner self. So it's so a lot of astrologers like to say like what your solar plexus is the sun, your mind is the moon, your feet is the heel, it grounds you, your root, your heart, mind, body, and soul, all that stuff. Mhm. As I was doing research on stuff like that and reflecting about this stuff within myself, I do see that every season does have a particular energy to it. When I step outside my house, I can feel it's fall. I can feel it's fall. I can feel that it's no longer summer, but it's just fall. It's just like, wow, it feels like fall. The energy is fall. It's more energetic in the summertime. And as it goes into the fall, you can see that the world itself, the energy outside is calming down and it's preparing to go into a slumber for the winter months. And if you're that in tune, it's like, wow, there is legitimacy to this. And when you go out from winter and it goes into spring, from that transition from winter to spring, you can feel it. You can look outside and see that the earth outside, nature is waking up for the spring just to restart the cycle all over again. And that's something that I can observe, and I don't need to read a report to see stuff like that. I can observe that for myself. And if that's the case, if that energy is there, then I could also consider, or I'm also open to the fact that if you're born during a specific time of the season, like if you're born in the summer, or if you're in the womb during the summertime and you're collecting all that fire, that passion, I don't find it a coincidence that when you're born towards the winter time, those are all your fire signs, your Sagittariuses and stuff like that. So it's like stuff like that. I'm not going to be so closed minded and say that, okay, that's not true. Now, when they romanticize it and say, oh, I'm an Aquarius or oh, I'm a Virgo and blah, 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 that's why I did stuff like that, then no, I don't subscribe to none of that bullshit at all. But I will acknowledge that if you're born in a specific season and you're collecting the energy of that season, it does have an effect on your personality. Because I have met a lot of Aquarius that act very similar, and they swear that they're so unique. It's like, no, you're similar. I met other Virgos, same thing. Geminis, Scorpios. It's like I have noticed that certain signs have or they exhibit the same behaviors. And because I'm on that cusp of being a Virgo and a Libra, I will say that obviously I'm a Virgo, so it's a feminine sign. It's or Virgo is the only woman, or at least the only constellation that's depicted as a woman. So it's a feminine sign. And I will say that I am very in tune empathetically with people. But because I'm on that cusp with being a Libra as well, I also I also crave balance. I need balance. Like if I won't be in an area if it's not balanced. If it's too masculine, if it's too feminine, I won't be in that environment. I like to be in an environment where it is neutral on both sides. I can get a mixture of femininity and masculinity without it being too extreme on both sides. That's why I won't ever get in politics, because that's what politics does. It's either you're right, left, or you're extreme on both sides, but there's not really a party that unifies everybody in the middle. That's why I don't get into politics, because I just have a craving for balance. I can't stand things being unbalanced. Chaos. I can thrive in chaos because that's where I was born in, but that's why I fought so hard to get out of it, because I don't like it. But yeah, Alfred, you came in on story time, man. Shoot, we already made our money earlier in the stream, and that short that we took, or not that we took, that I wanted to try out in the sim. So originally my thesis was that, I mean, they swept this liquidity right here, and that probably the most they'll get is probably right here at 108. And since we saw that short squeeze to the upside, it seemed like everybody else had that same idea because of how everybody just got squeezed out of their position. And this thing went all the way to 158. I mean, I guess they could, but yeah. But our boy Smith is also a Libra as well, if I'm not mistaken. That's why he's like super balanced. Like Smith is so super balanced though. And that's what I'm talking about, man. Stuff like that. If you don't have to choose to believe these things. You don't have to. You don't have to believe it, but all you have to do is observe and make your own come up with your own conclusions based on your own observation and critical thinking. We already seen Smith. Smith is just so balanced. He is just so balanced. I mean, who else is going to be down 10K and this man just sitting at that thing, just looking like, yep, it'll come back. It'll come back. Just stone face, not overreacting, just down 10K, just waiting for it to come back. Obviously, internally, he's probably going through it, but you wouldn't be able to tell because he's just so balanced. So, I mean, it's just stuff like that that I observe personally, and I've came to my own conclusions versus um, relying on other people's critical thinking, because that's all it really is. If you look at other people's reports, if you take in somebody else's analysis, what you're really doing is telling yourself that, I mean, and this is kind of going back to like self-care and self-love. That's why the markets, I saw this Instagram post that said that the markets is very spiritual, and I agree with him. I agree with that. Going back to when I said that I had to face a lot of demons when I first started trading that I didn't know was there. Or I think a better way of saying it is that the demons that I didn't have to deal with at the time because of where I was at. But now I'm in an environment where I have to build in order for me to move forward to where I am now. I had to fight a lot of demons along the way. And it was a very spiritual process. Now I'm consistently profitable. I can consistently make a certain amount. Y'all see me do this live on stream every day. We hitting these prop firms up. But y'all also see me be foolish when I start being greedy and being foolish and not taking profits when I have profits, or saying that, well, I mean, the market did this and maybe it can go here. And I know it's not going to go there, but I'm just gambling. It's just like, and I don't know why I'm doing it. It's just, I'm doing it just to do it. It's just no reason for it. And then once I look back at the charts and say, damn, I was being foolish. And the market did the same exact thing that it does every day. The market does nothing different. The market comes in the same every day, does the same shit. We come in and try to change it. We try to come in and impose our will on the market every single day and say that, oh, the market needs to do this or the market needs to do that. And that whole term about being a stubborn bear, I feel like that has a lot to do with it. Because as a stubborn bear myself, if I feel the market should do something, if it should short, I'm going to be a stubborn bear about it. I was a stubborn bear yesterday, and it almost cost me a great portion of that account because I was talking to Tommy about this. I said that, damn, there's a head and shoulders pattern right here. The market might go down, but I was being stubborn. No, I was being a stubborn bull at the time, but I saw the short, but I didn't want to get out of my position because I was being stubborn. And I had to take a lot of drawdown. I think I was a couple of points away from my stop getting hit on both the ES and the Nasdaq. I think I was maybe 3 points away from my stop getting hit on the ES, and I was about like 20 points away for the Nasdaq, if I'm not mistaken. But obviously, we got that rebound in the middle of the day, and I got my targets hit. But that stubbornness right there, it was just a good example. I'm glad that I was able to get away with it, but I'm going to acknowledge the fact that I was being stubborn in that situation. I was being stubborn. I saw what the market wanted to do. It didn't do what I wanted it to do, and I stubbornly stayed in the position. And if I had a bigger size to where I couldn't absorb all that drawdown, I would have lost a lot of money. So I mean, like I said, I still kind of do the same foolish stuff, even though the market does the same shit every day. Kind of like in the trade that we took, like I was telling myself that maybe I should just wait for this VWAP bounce because I mean it's so close. There's no way that the market is not going to get into this. But I figured that hey, let me try to front run this. And I was in drawdown for 5 points, but I kind of knew that if I mean it hit VWAP that we was going to get a bounce. I mean this is the ES. It's not like it's the Nasdaq or nothing where it'll run through VWAP and then come back up. This is the ES. But I tried to impose my will on the ES, and I was in 5 points of drawdown. So it's just stuff like that. 787. I mean, if I had my target here, I would have got my target hit, obviously. But I would have left all this on the table. I would have left all that on the table right there. And yeah, the trader shop, yeah, I took out a loan, man. I did that earlier on. The one thing that I hated was that we had extra money, and instead of putting that money in a I guess that just that I mean, well, I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Looking back at that decision, it wasn't a good decision. It was when I took out that loan, and then we had extra money just sitting around, and then I put that in the market. I gaslit my own self of saying that hey, you don't need that money. Well, what you got that money just sitting there for? Look at that. You can put that in the market and trade SPY and trade AMD options. You can make more money. You can flip that money. All that stupid stuff that I told myself earlier on. And I wanted to believe it. I wanted to believe it. That's what I wanted to do. I just needed something to convince me to do it. That's it. I just needed something to convince me to take that money and gamble it. And the crazy thing is, kind of going back to what the trader shop said earlier in the stream. Everything that's painful signifies the growth, and everything that feels good signifies regression. And gambling, as fun as gambling is, the reality is that it's literally the road to destruction. Nobody wins gambling. People I mean, you have something that you hope you can lose, like you win, and if you feel nothing, but you feel when you lose, you feel everything. And I think gambling itself, at least the emotions that you feel, I think people are addicted to that. Smith sent me this documentary about gambling, and I was watching it, and obviously I was relating to some of the things that was in this documentary. But the one thing that obviously I couldn't relate to, but was surprised, was that a lot of people gamble and they say, well, I just love losing because that means I can gamble some more. I can gamble, I have something to work towards. When you win, I mean, there's nothing after winning when you gamble. There's no reward. All the dopamine is when you gamble and lose. So it's like, it's crazy. And there's this other guy that got kicked out of the casino, and I don't know what his name is, but even though he's not saying that he's horrible because he wins, you can look at him. I'm not saying that anything is wrong with tattoos. I understand that people use tattoos to obviously signify the groups that they're in, to express themselves through art on their body. But excessive tattoos means one thing. That means that that person is depressed and empty, and that tattoos is a crazy way to kind of give yourself control. It's really self mutilation at the end of the day with the self excessive tattoos. You ask somebody with a lot of tattoos why they got them, they'll say, I don't know. And that's usually the case. I understand that there's outliers. We're not talking about everybody, but for the most part, if I see face tattoos, hand tattoos, finger tattoos, majority of that person's body tattoos, that means that that person is just going through a lot of depression, and getting a tattoo is the only form of control that they have. It's the same thing as slitting your wrist is self-mutilation. And that tells me that that person is not being, or they're not for being, or they don't have feelings of fulfillment. All he did was win in gambling, or at least he beat the system and he wins. And that's not fulfilling. I can say that with myself. When I win a lot, it's not fulfilling. I don't know why. It's a crazy thing. It's crazy. It doesn't feel fulfilling to win. I feel more motivated when I lose, because when I lose, I have something to work towards. I was like, man, I got to get my money back. That motivates me. I don't know why. It just does. Um, yeah. So Maui says, is VWAP open price bounce? Well, VWAP is all the way down here on my chart, dude. I feel that at this point in time, if we don't see a bounce here, I think the market is actually now grinding to the downside. We could see a bounce if price gets back down here to 975, but what I'm looking at right now, if they don't find support here at VWAP at 974, we're going down. And the next area is obviously right here at 900, which 9 times out of 10, if price gets down to 900, people's going to buy here. But I think now the market is in free fall now because we had this nasty sweep of liquidity. I think the market is going down. I would buy at your own risk. I would buy at your own risk. Yeah, you can see that for yourself. I mean, they're going to probably buy here, but yeah, that structure right there tells me that price is now grinding to the downside. So, in my opinion, I would wait until this afternoon. I think the move's already happened. If you haven't taken a trade with all this, I mean, if you haven't taken anything in this whole move up, uh, either get in with the shorts or just sit on your hands and come back tomorrow. I feel like that's your only option at this point because the ES is now selling off too. And if the ES doesn't find support here at VWAP in this neckline right here, I mean, the ES don't play games. She breaks through that and they don't find support here at this double bottom. And actually, that's probably what they'll probably do. I mean, they'll actually find support here, and that's not going to be the short. The short is going to be when they get that double bottom, and then when price comes back to this area, if we see that break and price comes back to this area, either they're going to break through or we're going to see this. So this is what I would wait for on the ES. And on the Nasdaq, I mean, they're finding support here at the 23%, but I would wait for this long at 980. I would wait for the long at 980. That's just me personally. I mean, I don't think they're going to take this high out. And if they're not going to take this high out, then you have to ask yourself, why would you go long if they're not going to take this high out? I mean, I don't feel like they will. They might, but I feel like now the market is just grinding down. Let's see what they do here, right here, and especially at this golden zone. Dude, I'm surprised, man. You said I made you miss it. Hey, I said take it at your own risk. Take it at your own risk. But you know how I trade. This is a scalp. I wouldn't take this unless I knew that price was coming all the way back up here. Yeah. And let's see what they do here at this golden zone. Let's see what they do here. Because if they reject it, then we're going down. But then if they actually push it past up here, you got this neckline right here. And the question is, are they going to take out that high? That's the question. But this is the Nasdaq though. Or definitely, we already got the answer on the ES. You got the answer on the ES already. And I don't think the ES, I don't know. That doesn't look like a long opportunity on the ES. That does not look like a long opportunity on the ES. And so let's see. Let's see if they're gonna take out that high right there at 774. Shoot. I don't know. I think the longs got, I mean, I think the shorts got it now. That actually might be a short opportunity versus a long opportunity. But like I said, man, at this point, you kind of have to be one with your God at this point, because either way is a gamble at this point. This does look like a good short opportunity. You know what? I'll take it in the sim because this does look like a good short opportunity right here. But I guess the better short would have been. Let's see if it can get right here. Hmm. I'm surprised you didn't take it, Maui Maui. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's not a short yet. It's something that is short on Nasdaq. We see like a big red candle underneath this little area right here, then now it definitely be the short. It looks like it wants to go short. Looks like it at least wants to touch VWAP. I would definitely go long here. I would definitely try for a long down here. It really depends on where VWAP is when the market finally makes its way back down to this area. Because yeah, like I said, Maui Ma, I think this is the short. I think this is the short. Uh, 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 uh. All right, so we'll see. If they use this area as resistance, they use it as resistance, then I'll know that they're at least trying to come back down here, and they're possibly trying to touch VWAP. I think that's a short. Man, that's a short. That's a short. That was a short. Mm. Ah, damn it. Mm. You know what? Let me see. That's a buy stop. Man, I ended that. All right, so let's see. If they use this as resistance, then I know that we're going down further. This, I can definitely just keep this like right here. I don't even have to use the 50 whole 50 points. Because if I'm wrong in this, then this shouldn't be. So I mean, I'm in the right area. The question is, will the Bears be successful? I mean, I'm pretty sure they will be, but the Bears be successful here because I'm in the right area. Let's see. Might reject it actually here, somewhere in this block of consolidation. If they push it past up here, then I'm closing this one out. I'd have been highly pissed. Highly pissed on that. Okay. Thirteen. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Trying to short the Nasdaq is like jumping off the freaking off the side of a cliff without a parachute. That's what shorting the Nasdaq is. Guess if I want to go short, then I should just short the ES. But dude, there's nothing wrong with it. All right, so let's see. You know what? Hmm. Huh. So I just saw something. Just saw something. Honestly, I probably should just cut this damn thing probably. It's high likely not. It's not even gonna probably work, or it's gonna probably take a long time for it to work, even if it does. So I think for right now, at least that 158 area, that 158 high is gonna probably be the high of the day. I don't think we're getting past that at all. I don't think we're getting past 158 because 158 is like right here. 158. Yeah, I think that might be the high of day for it right now. Without a significant pullback because man, not a significant pullback because they might try to come back and buy it right here. Mm. And that's something else too. Just being impatient. Just being patient, taking that deep breath and being patient about it. Mm. Yeah, if it runs past these highs, then I'm just gonna cut this one. Okay. Mm, okay. All right. All right. Okay. Yeah, it just seems like the market is not going short. But all right, guys, that's it for me. I'm not gonna lie, that saddens my bear heart, man. It saddens my bear heart. I have to completely do away with shorts. I can't even look for shorts anymore because half the time bearish price action just doesn't work anymore. Only time you can short is when price gets up into an area where it's like, dude, it can't even go past this. If it goes past this, then that would be absolutely crazy, which makes it a gamble. Hmm. I'm looking at this price action because this was that day where it was like super bullish and it was hard for the bears to get anything started. We talked about this level being an area where the bears was going to come in, and boy, did they freaking come in at this area. But I did not expect for them to knock price all the way back down here. That was like a 300 and something point move. You can see that they finally found resistance here at the bottom of this trend channel and sold at the follow up. Hmm. I guess they might take this high out after that then. I guess they might take it out. I guess just one of the things that I'm gonna have to just kind of I mean, obviously I don't take shorts anymore in my other accounts. I mean, it's just too dangerous to take shorts at this point. But mm, I guess it just sucks that when you want to short the market, it just doesn't short. And it doesn't even short at resistance at all. Because people definitely wanted to short this. Definitely wanted to short it. We got a break of structure here. Got a strong close. Them coming up. I mean, we did get a stop run, but then we saw the bears knock it right back down. And normally that short right here would work. Normally we would see that. But I mean, today is, I guess, a bullish day. Or I think it's not necessarily bullish. I think this is mostly probably the bears getting stopped out. This is the bears fueling this market up higher at this point. This is definitely the bears fueling this market up higher. Because, I mean, this you had a double top, and you had this one good area, but this is just a two-legged pullback into support. And then we had this nasty run back up higher. You had a stop run right here where everybody was trying to short. And so you saw a stop run higher, and then you saw price trend down back into support. And then now they're making their way back up. So, I mean, I guess before I get off the stream, I mean, we're 138. I mean, let's see what they do at 138. Because that, I mean, this will be the last line of defense right here for Bears. I mean, anything past going up, I mean, what's stopping it from going to, what's stopping it from doing that? I mean, yeah, what's stopping it from doing that? There's really nothing stopping it from doing that. I mean, is it trying to, I guess price is probably trying to get back up into this high around like 250, 260, I guess. I guess that's where price is trying to go to. Because if the bears don't stop them there, then obviously our next stop would be about 300. So Zeke the plumber, these are just ranges. They're just rectangles. That's all. That's it. That's all these are. And if you're seeing how price reacts to these little rectangles, all these are ranges. That's all they are. That's all they are. It's just ranges that I've drawn out over time. And price just comes back and they just react within these ranges. That's all. An easy way how to draw these things out yourself is to find a range and just start drawing them. And I project mines out into the future. And you can see that price. I mean, these ranges have drawn out since the beginning of this year. As price gone up, I just drawn more ranges, more ranges, more ranges, and I just project them into the future. And it just goes to show that algorithms rule this market, because as soon as price comes back into these ranges, either they're using them as resistance, they're using them as support, they're using these necklines as support and resistance. All this is just technical analysis. That's all it is. Drawing ranges, identifying support and resistance. And then some of the only indicators that I have on it is like these lines, these high of days or low of day, high of day. I don't have the value area high and low on the Nasdaq because honestly, I find that to be distracting. But it's definitely important on the ES. It's definitely important on the ES to understand where the value area low and the value area high is, because she's so technically sound. And if you don't believe that price won't react at these levels, you can see it for yourself. And so point of control, value area high and low is important. You can see that they used the value area high as an area of support last night. I mean, if you got in at 704, what is that? Oh, never mind. That's 8 points of drawdown. It reacted more to my range than this value area high. The same thing with the ES. I got these ranges drawn out, and you can see that price reacts to it. That's it. Well, it may look like that. It may look like it's a midline in between the ranges, but it goes to show that these markets are ran by algorithms and that everything is symmetric, regardless of how you feel about it. You may think that these are just lines in between the middle, but no, you can see that prices use it as support, support, resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, support, resistance. This just goes to show that the market is symmetrical. So from the outside, yeah, that's how it appears. And it's interesting that you say that, is because when I first started drawing it out and I looked at it, I was like, wow, wow, it is like that. But but you don't have to. It's really not a big deal. Like I said, I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. You can look at the charts and see it for yourself. You can look at the charts and see it for yourself. Anyway. But this actually might, I do want to see, I do want to see how this plays out though. This will be the last test short that I take in the sim account. Because I mean, if it doesn't short here, I mean, if the bears don't find resistance here, I mean, this thing is going, man. This thing is going. You don't see a red candle here. This thing is going. If we see a stop run candle up, then we can possibly see. I mean, well, let me actually think about this because maybe 138 might actually be too obvious. Maybe it's 165. Maybe it's 165. Maybe that's where they want to actually take this market is 165. Because it would kind of match up to this high right here. I think this 138 area kind of be too obvious. I think a lot of people are shorting this right now. If I look at book map, yeah, they're probably shorting this right here. Yeah, there's people shorting this. I think 165, 166, 165 is going to probably be the real short. Because I mean, if it gets past this, then there's nothing stopping it. There will literally be nothing stopping it. I mean, I found support here at this 23%. Hmm. The only difference that would be is the belief of it, I guess. Yeah, because I mean, yeah, that actually, you know what? All right, so this is gonna be my last short right there. I mean, if we can get this in the next 5 minutes, then I'll stay on, but probably get off at 10:40. Oh, I think that's probably where the market is really trying to get to. We might see a drop here at 160, 165. It's probably where we might see the drop. Uh, 130 would be too obvious. We might get a we might get a red candle here. Not even looking at it. Oh shit, yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this might be the fake short right here. This is probably going down to incite bears. No, I think this is the fake short to incite bears. We all know what a real short looks like. We know what one looks like. A controlled sell-off, that's a trap. Mm, okay. $198. Yeah, I don't think so, man. That would be too much. I mean, if they get it to 207, I mean, uh, I think they might just come back and they'll take out 160. They'll take that out, and then we'll see. Mm, yeah. I mean, the good thing about being a bear naturally is that you kind of know that wasn't a real sell-off. That was controlled. Sell-offs don't happen that way. We've seen what sell-offs look at it. I mean, look at it. We've seen what real sell-offs look like. They're not controlled. When people sell out of their positions for real, they look like that. They don't look like this. This is not how people sell out of their position. That was just to incite bears. That was just to incite bears right there. That was a clean bear trap. And we know what a sell-off looked like. This is what a sell-off looks like right here. You see that? That's a sell-off, not no controlled crap that just was. Another example, sell-offs look violent and they're very chaotic. That's not no sell-off. So like I said, I'll stay out for 4 more minutes. I really want to see what happens here. I would love for this to actually happen before I get off stream, but if it doesn't, this would just be something that I guess I'll just come back and I'll look at. That 138 level that I was looking at, I mean, we swept the liquidity above that high. I mean, technically this would be like a weird head and shoulders pattern. It would be 138 and that's the head. I mean, it could be seen that way. And that's why when I just thought about it, I was like, that looks more like a trap. that could be a trap. And that's probably why everybody started to sell here. But I think the market really wants this. Yeah, that just said, yep, there's bears trying to sell this here. I mean, we knew that they were trying to sell it, but I mean, we saw that that candle confirms that there is bears trying to sell this. We're going to see a stop run. We're going to see a stop run. Oh, man, this thing really slow here. ES real quick. Yeah, the ES. Yeah, I can see why the bears are trying to sell this on the ES. I mean, that looks bearish, but the EMAs are sloping up to the upside. For me to want to short this, the EMA's got to start doing this. I mean, even if they do get that move down, you got the 200 right here. And then you got VWAP right here. Okay. All right. Well, my time is up, guys. I got to actually get to a meeting. Like I said, I am still looking for this area to short. I mean, they may come in at 138. I highly doubt it, though. I think that we could see a stop run higher. And I think this is what the market really wants. I think the market wants 160, 165. Come on, I can sacrifice a minute. Come on, if you're gonna do it, do it. Okay. Anyway, this is the area that I'm going to be looking for. Like I said, shorts are kind of dangerous. If you're going to take a short, please get the confirmation first. We've already seen that bearish price action has been completely taken advantage of, especially here on the ES. If you want to short, I mean, I'm sorry, the Nasdaq. If you want to short, go on the ES. Bears get respected over there. The ES doesn't play the same games that the Nasdaq does. Once you get to an area of resistance, it will short. It doesn't play those games. But even the ES right now still has some more room for upside. I mean, you got this little area right here at 782. 780 is probably like a good area. Let me look at this real quick. Yeah, like 780-ish, 785, double top. Just get confirmation on your shorts, people. That's it. Obviously, people are still excited that we got a 50 basis points from Powell yesterday, which is very aggressive in my opinion. That was an aggressive rate cut, and that's very damaging for the United States. Only that saying where only the rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer. Well, we just got poor. we all know the consequences of inflation. It was very irresponsible of a 50 basis point. Honestly, it was irresponsible of a rate cut at all. That was highly irresponsible, but that's not my job or nor my concern. I can only give my opinion. Inflation is only going to get worse over time. And the reason why, I mean, it's interesting. Even Powell knew that it was Powell knew that was not a responsible decision because in yesterday's FOMC meeting, I don't know if anybody um, noticed this, but this is the first time this guy brought out some damn charts. If this ain't the first time, excuse that, but this is the first time that I've seen it. This is the first time this man brought out some damn charts to kind of back up why he made such an irresponsible decision. That man brought out the charts. And anybody that knows economics know that that wasn't a good decision. All right. I'll give it one more minute. I mean, if it ain't going to touch it in one more minute, I got to go. I got to go. But all right, guys. That's all. That's all the time I can give. I'll still keep my eyes on this level. It looks like the market, because I mean, if the market was going to sell off, they would have sold it off already. So don't get caught up in, if you're in this short, you might get some playing around because I think they at least want to get this level right here. I mean, you may get it, but this is not what a short looks like. It doesn't look like this. So just be mindful. And with that said, peace out.